depth of how the world works. Add a little creativity and imagination to the equation, and we might be able to figure our way out of the dynamic problems that we're facing. So we're really excited about that K-12 piece. And the pandemic just outed, I hate to say this, outed education. Not well, I might add. But I think it's from the instructional model, not from the technology sense. But if you're trying to corral a group of young people, and if you have them in a classroom, that's pretty easy to do. But if you don't have them in the classroom, you get results like 1 in 5 showed up for remote learning. 1 in 5. So it never had a chance to be successful because only 1 in 5 showed up. Anyone else have any thoughts along those lines?
I see Anita Barksdale is here. Hi, Anita.
Hi, thanks for the invite. I've been listening to the conversation. It's pretty, it's igniting. I will say that. I'm glad I joined as well because I was listening to some of the ideas and thoughts that that Autumn was talking about as well, and then where my brain went with a lot of the work that needs to be done. Starting.
Oops, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
You were running a parent group at one point when the pandemic first started. Are you still?
Yeah, so I kind of wear 2 hats. The first one, I'm a nurse at St. Joseph Mercy Oakland, and I work with trauma services, and we work to pretty much make safety easy for our communities. And part of that making safety easy is working with the community to figure out how can we mitigate some of these risk factors for injury. So safe streets, walkable streets, bikeable streets. We're actually starting to work with Oakland County to see what that looks like.
Wow.
We've identified a school who we've done a bike rodeo with. So we want to go back and visit them and make the program a more sustainable program where, the students at that school develop healthy habits that lead into adulthood, but a lot of them aren't experiencing those healthy habits right now. So just offering that into their toolbox. And part of that would be looking at your streets, looking at your community for safety, and then getting them to think twice. We got a program called Think First, but thinking twice about their choices, their healthy choices for injury prevention, choices for healthy living, and things like that. So, like I said, we've identified the school. We want the kids to help us figure out what does your walkable community and what does your bikeable community look like. And that includes, your food sources, that includes your other things that you need to live. So we talk with the kids about, what do you need to live? And the first thing that comes to mind is food. The second thing that comes to mind is family. So, are you in a neighborhood that feels like family? If you walk your neighborhood, do you feel safe enough where, that you can identify a safe house in your neighborhood? Because we used to have stuff like that. So identifying those safe houses in your neighborhood. But, we did a walk of the community to figure out where things were located. And if I wanted to go find a banana or an apple or something like that, is that within this is excellent. I just copied that actually, if you don't mind, but
not at all.
having the 15 minute, bike ride or a 10-minute walk, are your resources within your area? And then is it safe to do that in your area? So that's one of the things the students spoke up about too. I don't feel safe walking in that area. So we gave them some tools, options, what they can do to help. But also ask them, what do you feel you need to do what do you feel you need to be safe in that area? What do you feel that you need to have in that area to be able to bike that area? So that's kind of what we're working on right now. But this has been a super interesting conversation. I'm just absorbing a lot of it.
Can we help you, Anita? How can we help you? And can we get you involved in the event that day? Have some kind of...
Yeah, that would be excellent. Actually, that would be excellent. I was just trying to figure, trying to just kind of hone in on what we could do to work together to offer, what we needed to pretty much figure out what parking day was, and then
You
you
just
know how
described it. Not only did you describe it, you
just-
took it to a place
The
that
evolution.
that we wanted to go to, which is from downtown to the neighborhood. So we're seeing this going from down Pike Street, you know, from Saginaw west up to Lori's facility and then into the community.
And
So-
maybe to Washington School, maybe Megan could
Yeah,
speak to that.
Exactly. So I'm sure we can accommodate, you know, if we have the time to do a little programming thoughts, something that would be exciting, and you're making the kids the focus of the dynamic in terms of design. I think that's just outstanding. It's just the way it should be.
Yeah,
Can I chime in on this real quick?
Yeah.
So this sounds like something that we could partner on.
Yes.
Our
Definitely,
program,
definitely.
so
I'm super
our
excited
program
about that.
is like, we are expanding.
And then
We've
the
only been
other
in our
hat that I wear, I do run a program. I'm the coordinator of the program for Pontiac's Stork's Nest, and it's through my sorority. It's been
Stork's
around since 1970, but the Stork's Nest has recognized that there is a disparity not only with food, but also especially in the prenatal care community. So we, through the Stork's Nest, we started by offering stuff. And what we realized is that a lot of expecting parents don't want the stuff. So we do have we still do have a boutique as an incentive for pregnant women to join the program, but we recognize that they need the wraparound service. They kind of need they need humans. They need human touch. They need
Yes.
human empathy. They need, you know, human presence. So we hold, well, pre-pandemic, we were holding a class every month where we gathered as a community for 2 days. And yes, they would come on Saturday and spend 8 hours Saturday and 8 hours Sunday. And we just talked. We talked about what's the journey of being pregnant? What are some experiences of being pregnant? We talked about food sources. We cooked in the classroom. So, you know, we cooked breakfast, lunch, and sometimes dinner together, like with our own experiences. We also talked about budgeting and, you know, what kind of things are you looking at for budgeting and being pregnant? Life after baby. We talked about mental health, you know, all these buzzwords that are coming up now. We were talking about all that at a lower level, you know, but just really talking about that. Like if I met somebody at, you know, a store or grocery store or something, we would just stop and talk about their pregnancy journey. And I'd say, hey, why don't you come to our class and kind of share what you've been through and how you know, things you added to your toolbox so you could kind of cope with what you're going through. So we have, you know, women in the community who want to teach. So we offered, you know, we're here. I'm a nurse, but, you know, I'm a cardiac nurse or I'm a trauma nurse. So only experience I have is having children, right? I've had them myself. So we had kind of have that been there, done that approach. But anyways, we did a walk of the community for that too, to see if I were pregnant and I needed to go find healthy food, how far away do I have to walk to get it?
Wow.
And we identified 3 places in the neighborhood that advertised as having healthy food, nutrition, fruits, and all that good stuff. But they actually did a survey of the store and to see, you know, if it was actually something that would benefit the moms being pregnant. We also talk about, you know, we have a physician that comes in. She's an excellent resource. She's the head of our OB services here at St. Joe's, but she volunteers her time on Sundays to just come in a baseball cap and jeans and just talk to the moms about, you know, why can't I have a water birth here? Or, you know, what test was that I just had at my prenatal care visit or whatever. Taking time to explain the stuff that healthcare doesn't have a lot of time to explain during your visits. So we talk about a lot of that too. But during the pandemic, we recognized that, you know, the community needed that more than ever. They needed that human connection. So we did our drop-offs. We did, you know, just dropping off or just FaceTime, just to let the pregnant mom know you're still not going through this alone. You know, how can we make connections? How can we connect you to the places that have what you need? So that's kind of what I do with the Stork's Nest as well, which is housed on St. Joe's campus simply because I work here and I ask for the space, but we're not connected with St. Joe's. So
Yes.
that's kind of the benefit of me working here, but yeah, so that's kind of what I do on that end as well.
And how are you funded there?
And it's all like nonprofit. Nobody's paid for anything. And it's
Wow.
just, we saw a need. I was
Wow.
a mom at some point
Right.
and decided
We gotta
to
find you some, we gotta find you
take
some
the lead
things.
on it.
So-
I remember this group with Pontiac
think you're
Sun Time
muted,
Bank
or I
came
can't hear
into an
Yeah, you made a presentation to Pontiac Sun Time Bank.
Stork's nested. Someone
Am
was
I
there at the
muted?
Stork's. It was a
Somebody did.
St. Joe's meeting, and Pontiac Sun Time Bank brought in a mother, and she told her story about you know, going through services.
Yeah, that was a
And
couple
yeah,
of years ago.
it was a couple of years ago. It was with OU, the OU early childhood groups.
Autumn, I think you had some comments.
Yeah, Autumn, about collaboration and how to.
Partnership and,
Yeah, so I think partnership would be great. We actually have in our building is huge. You guys are welcome to come see our facility anytime, but we have a full kitchen. We have a 2-story building, but like focus groups for kids and parents, that's all stuff that we are talking about as an organization as well. I don't know if you've worked with e-community before with Isha. She works with us pretty
Yes.
We know
closely.
Isha, uh-huh.
Yeah, we know Isha. We all know
Yeah,
Isha.
she's partnered with us as well. She actually she has space in our building and in our garage and things where she stores different things. So like using our space, I think for both parents and kids is something that CFS wants to do moving forward. Like that's just something that I personally am like, let's hear from the kids, let's hear from the families. What do they not have that they need? So I think, you know, in the future, maybe this is something we talk about, you know, at a different meeting, but I think a partnership would be really great. No one's in our building during the day right now because kids will be at school. So we just do after school with our students, and we are hoping to have 50 kids total in person. And then our goal for our virtual programming is about the same. So we're hoping to reach about 100 kids. A lot of people don't know we exist. I think that's one of the challenges in Pontiac is that people just don't know about all of the different orgs that are out there. But if we reach, you know, 50 kids or 100 kids and you guys come in at different times to do different things, I mean, that's a lot of reach that we could have. For the community, we also use our building as like during the pandemic, they used it as like a food pickup and drop off spot. And we also did meet up and eat up this summer at our building as well. So it's very multifaceted, but it sounds like, you know, cooking healthy meals and teaching the parents how to do things. That's something that Isha really wants to do and we want to do. So maybe collectively we come together